going to show you how to make a Pong game using Scratch. So the way this game will work is there's going to be a stick moving from side to side that you will control, that the player will control, and there's going to be a ball bouncing around the whole place. The aim of the game is to hit the ball with the moving stick. If you hit the ball, you get 1 point. If you miss the ball and it hits the ground, then it's game over. So first I'm going to choose sprite. So I'm going to choose the ball sprite. Next I'm going to choose a nice backdrop which is good for a Pong game. Something like neon tunnel. Yeah, so you can choose whatever backdrop you want. It's totally up to you. But I think neon tunnel is the best backdrop. Okay, now I'm going to paint a sprite. So I'm going to paint the moving stick. And I'm going to paint the stick that the players will hit the ball with. And you just need to draw a rectangle. A really thin rectangle. Remember, you must not make the stick too long, because you don't want the game to be too easy for the player, but you don't want to make it too small because you don't want the game to be too hard either. So I'm gonna make this a nice green color, like that. Okay, so now it looks like I have my moving stick. And I'm going to change the name from Sprite 1 to something like, I don't know, moving stick. Yeah. So now I'm going to start doing the code. So let's start off with the ball. I'm going to grab a when green flag clicked block. Then, let's see. Okay, I'm going to grab a forever loop. Then I'm going to go to motion and I'm gonna grab a move 10 steps, but okay, I'm gonna do some testing. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna change this to 13. So I'm gonna change this to 13 and see how the ball moves. Maybe a little faster, so 15. So I'm gonna see how it is when it's a little faster. Yeah. Okay, so move 15 steps. Then, well, as you can see, it's just stuck on the edge and we want it to bounce off the whole place. So I'm gonna get an if on edge bounce. So now it's working quite nicely. But it's only going side to side and the player can't play like that. So I'm gonna take a point in direction. I'm gonna make it 45 degrees. Now let's try. Yeah, so now as you can see, the ball is bouncing all over the screen. Now I'm gonna do the code for the moving stick. And I'm gonna grab a when green flag clicked block. And I think I'm gonna get a forever loop. Let's see, what should I do now? I'm gonna go to motion. And I'm gonna grab this block, set X to -5, and then we don't want it to be -5. We want it to be mouse X, because if we put mouse X instead of -5 or a number, we can actually control it with the mouse. So if I show you what I mean, look, whenever I move my mouse side to side, the stick moves side to side too. But what this piece of code here does is that it doesn't allow the stick to go up or down. It only allows it to go side to side. Now I think we need to, because as you can see, when the ball touches the stick, it just goes through, which is not what we want. We want it to bounce off. So I'm gonna go to the ball and I'm gonna grab an if then loop and put it inside the forever loop. Then I'm gonna go to sensing and grab touching mouse pointer. So if touching mouse moving stick, then let's see, go to code, I'm gonna grab this point in direction and I'll make it 45. So now let's see what happens once the ball touches the stick. So as you can see, it just bounces straight off, which is what we want. But then we want to make a score. So I'm gonna go to variables, and I'm gonna make a variable, and I'm gonna name it score. But remember, you have to select for all sprites, not just for this sprite only. Otherwise, the score won't work. It's very important that you put for all sprites. So I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna go back to the moving stick and grab an if-then loop and put it inside the forever loop. Then I'm gonna go to sensing and grab a if touching ball. Go to variables, change score by 1. So now what happens is when the stick touches the ball, the score will change by 1. Okay. But as you can see, once I stop and restart the game, the score stays the same. So I need to put a certain score to 0. So when the green flag is clicked, the score will be 0. So now it works. But this is what happens when. See what happens when the ball touches the ground. It just bounces off. We want the game to end. So I'm gonna paint another sprite, and I'm gonna make it a thin rectangle, a super thin rectangle, and I'm gonna make it really, really thin. And remember, it has to be the width. It has to be the length of the screen. So yeah. So I'm gonna name this something like I don't know, ground. And I'm gonna paint a backdrop, and I'm gonna write some text. So I'm gonna put something like I don't know, game over. Game over. And I don't like this font. I like this font, and I'm gonna make this quite big. And I'm gonna make it something like, what color should I use? Red, yeah, red. That seems nice. And maybe I can move this a little bit into the middle. Perfectly, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so then I'm gonna go to the ball, and I'm gonna go to control and take if-then loop, and I'm gonna go to sensing. So if touching ground, then looks, switch backdrop to backdrop 2. And I'm gonna go to control again, and I'm gonna put stop all. And to make it so let's see what happens when I play it actually. So as you can see, once I restart the game, the backdrop stays the same. So I'm gonna go to looks again, and when green flag clicked, switch backdrop to neon tunnel. So this is what happens. So now but now once it touches the ground, it changes backdrop, but I want everything to be hidden so that it looks better. So I'm gonna go to events, and I'm gonna take when backdrop switches to backdrop 2. I'm gonna go to looks and put hide. But remember, if you tell the ball to hide once it switched to backdrop 2, it will also be hidden once the backdrop is being switched back to neon tunnel. So we need to put when green flag clicks, show, and we should do that with all the other ones too. So when backdrop switches to backdrop 2, hide, and then I'm gonna put show, and backdrop switches to backdrop 2, hide, and then I'm gonna go to events again, and green flag clicked. Show. Okay, so I think the game is ready. Let's see if there are any flaws. Yeah, it seems to be working perfectly, and once it hits the ground, yeah, it works. So let's see it in full screen. So this is so that's how you make a Pong game using Scratch. Bye for now.